Okay, so my life in computer and computer graphics started in '82. Thanks also a lot from Mr. Fajin for the two things that delighted my life when I was 18, and that started my life in computer graphics. And in 1986, I actually started getting paid by a company by using computers that were made in a company that actually had their headquarters here in this building. And then in '95, I decided that I was fed up with Italy and the lack of innovation in the computer graphics, and I decided to move here in the US. And in January, I joined a company that was used to call PDI, and after that was called DreamWorks, because it joined forces with DreamWorks. And together with my co-founder, we work on many different movies, including Shrek that they mentioned before. And actually, there were like 14 movies. And Shrek happens to win an Oscar in 2001. And in 2012, my co-founder and I reunited again and decided to change our life and found a company that designed the mobile playground for a new generation of curious minds. We became parents. And we saw the kids using the devices in a very interesting way, but also somehow scary. This is my son, Noah. And he don't mind the toothbrush. We have high hygiene standards at home, but don't worry. So his generation is going to play and interact with technology in ways we couldn't imagine just a few years ago. And maybe Noah will never really grow up to use an actual keyboard. He will most likely spend a lot of time tapping and dragging, but it doesn't have to be sitting on a couch or on a kitchen table. This is why we're designing these apps that takes the kids out in the real world so they can interact, they can see, they can touch, they can explore, learn, create, and share with the people that matter the most, that are me, like parents, and my wife, and all the other parents of the kids that are using this technology. And this is why we think that the next step for us as a company is to build an environment, a playground, that we call Curious Minds, where the adults and the children will get together. The parents and the children can get together and interact using this technology. And an interaction is very important, because we're trying to go counter the current trend of I give the iPad to my kids and I forget, because it's a nice babysitting. We really want to empower the adult with the device that carries everywhere they go here. And they know very well how to use it to create and personalize the child experience by the time he opens the app. So for example, the parents can take a picture. Here I can take a picture of you, and by the time he gets home, my kid opens the iPad, and he can play with that picture. So it's a personal connection. The activity is not based on content that was created by someone else, but it's something that I created. Or I can travel, I can check in a fancy location, and suddenly the app on the other side creates a math quiz or a geography exploration opportunity for the kids. And the opportunity are incredible because the type of interaction that is going to happen between the adult and the children will be of a new type, and the content that is created by the pair, by the couple, the children and the adult, and it's going to be highly personal. And that's the shift from a life that I spent in building content that will be passively used by the children and the families that were going to see a movie. And as an adult, I will be able to decide when and where and how much I want to be involved in this activity, in this connection with my kids. I will be able, because I'm an adult, I can safely purchase additional content or new features, and I will be able to talk to my social friends. Something that my child will not do, because it's protected in an environment that is highly safe and is full of personal content that we created and we push to all the devices. And we're building this, having spent the last 8 months building a variety of different apps. We have 6 on the store. And iPaint, for example, is an example that takes the kids and the device into the real world so they can paint using the camera. And they have to move around and look for colors and textures, as opposed to sit on a couch and just tap on the screen. So, for example, Mapamundi is the next app that we're going to release and empower the kids with the opportunity to create maps. And they go around with this device and they find things that they like and they create a map, their own personal map. It's their vision of the world that is around them. And the maps will be then become this magical things that they can share and print and do stuff. Our apps, we were fortunate enough that Apple saw something in our apps and were featured a couple of times over the last 5 months since we started releasing them. 2 times we had this huge banner that are the biggest real estate you can get for free at Apple. And we got very good reviews from educators and parents and bloggers. And we joined a different incubator program, Try on the Startups, down the street with Dave McClure. And we just finished a month ago. And over the last 4 months, 5 months since we joined the program, we saw a huge peak in the classic hockey stick in the downloads and the engagement and the user acquisition. So if you're curious about the small team that we have here and in France and the artists that we have around, if you're curious about the vision that we have and the products that we're building, this is how you can reach us. You can just email us or just talk to us. And we're still fundraising, so if anybody has a checkbook here, I'm fine. Thank you very much.